Hey everyone, Cedric from Vertex Marketing Agency, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the Facebook offline conversion event. So first, I'm going to explain what it is and who it is for, and then once you understand that, I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up using something called Zapier. So first of all, what is it? Well, if ever you have an e-com store and you also have a physical location, so this means that people can maybe go on your Shopify store if you're using Shopify to make purchases, and great, Facebook's going to be able to track that because you have the Facebook pixel installed on your website. But what if they see your ad and then actually go into your store and make a purchase? Well, at that point, Facebook won't actually know that the reason maybe they came to the store is because they saw the ad. They saw that, oh, this product is on sale or it's available. You can actually send all your point of sales data back to Facebook, and then what they can do is they can try to attribute some more purchases to your campaigns. And that's a great way to get more data and scale your campaigns, because you're just at the end of the day giving more data to Facebook so they understand a little bit more who are your target customers. And I just gave the e-com example, but I'm actually working with a company right now and they're a service-based business, and we're utilizing this actually method. And what we're doing is we're actually sending deals. So this service company that I've actually just set this up for, they're optimizing for leads inside their ad account. So that's great, but Facebook actually doesn't know who are the leads that are actually converting and who are the leads that are kind of like, I guess, just wasting our time. So what I started doing is I started sending offline conversion event every time the user converts, right? Every time that some of that lead converts. And then now inside my ad account, I can not just see what my cost per lead is and how many leads a specific campaign generated, but I can see if it actually resulted in deals. And then in a future video, I'll also make a comparison and I'll be testing optimizing for leads and then optimizing for deals or for purchases using the offline conversion event, and which one actually gets us the most deals at the end of the day for, let's say, that service-based business company. But what I'm trying to say here is you can actually send that data back to Facebook, and then you're going to be able to analyze inside your ad account if any of those deals or purchases are being attributed to your campaigns. This is data that you wouldn't really get by just having the pixel on your website, because again, those are events that are happening offline. So if they call one of your rep and the rep calls them on the phone, right, then that gets added to your CRM, or they come into your physical location, right, because you have, let's say, your store, then they make a purchase. Well, that unfortunately doesn't trigger and fire your Facebook pixel. So then sending an offline conversion event is a cool workaround that you can do and implement to be able to feed some of that data back to Facebook so that they can optimize with it. With that being said, let me show you how to create an offline event set inside your business manager. So I am inside my demo business manager right here, and if I scroll to the bottom left here, there's actually something called data source. If I click it, it's going to open it, and then we're going to see an option here is called offline event set. So that's actually different than your pixel, so make sure you're clicking on this one. Now here you might already have one. You can always create a new one if you want, and that's what I'm going to do for this demo. So I'm going to click add, and if it's your first time adding one of these, you might just need to accept some terms and conditions, but then once you've done that, you should see something like that. I'm just going to call this a demo, so just so that I know that I can come back and delete it in the future. You call it whatever you want to call it, it doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to hit create. Now here, we actually need to connect to an ad account. So here, this is my demo ad account, and it picked up that my ad account is part of that business manager. You might have multiple ad accounts, so you might want to select the ad account that is going to be connected with that offline conversion event. And if ever you don't see anything here, that might actually be because you don't have any ad account connected to your business manager. And if that's the case, then you should be watching another video showing you how to organize your business manager. Most likely you're going to see your ad account, and you can just hit select here and then hit next, and then it's going to give you a confirmation message like that. I'm just going to hit OK, and now you can actually give people permission to play with that offline event set. So really important that you select yourself. So that's actually me right here, and you want to give yourself full access and then hit assign. And the reason you do that is because once you go to Events Manager, if you don't have access, you might not be able to like upload data and make changes. So just give yourself the proper permission. Now let me just show you where you would go to actually access it. So you can click on the all tools here and go to Advanced Manager, and you should be able to access it this way. But if you're actually looking at it, which right now it's right here, it's a demo, it's already open, I can actually click on Open Advanced Manager right here, and it's gonna bring me directly inside that offline data set. So perfect, I'm here. As you can see, there's nothing here because I literally just created it. At this point, you have two options. One option is you can actually upload all the events manually, and I actually had to done that in the past because I couldn't really create an automation. Obviously, the goal with this video is to show you how to automate it with using something called called Zapier. So you don't need to do this every day or every other day, but let's say you have, I don't know, like months of data and you just want to send it right away. I think that's probably a good thing to do. So you can hit on upload events here, and they're actually going to give you a template. So you can just go ahead and download the example CSV file, and it's going to basically be a Google sheet. It's going to say first name, last name, email, phone number, and then you can actually just like fill those out with your customer's information. So let's say you have a Shopify store, and you can see inside your Shopify store all the orders that actually happen inside your physical location. Then you can just export all these orders and bring that to that CSV. Or if you have a service-based business and you're using maybe Salesforce or HubSpot as your CRM, just go ahead and download all those leads that became, let's say, a deal, or that potentially purchased something inside your company. Then you can just upload them manually here. So at least you're sending data to Facebook right away. And then once you've created that file using the format that they've shown in the example CSV right here, you can just upload it. And then once it's uploaded, then you're just going to need to map out some fields. It's honestly pretty simple, and then you can just import it. Then it might take about 15 minutes. And then if you exit here, I'm just going to get out, you're going to see that you're going to get some events here. So another thing is inside that CSV template, it's going to ask you what kind of event you want to send. That's really up to you. Let's say it's a offline purchase. I would probably recommend just name it purchase. And then inside Ads Manager, you're going to be able to see which purchases are happening on your website and which purchases are happening offline. So that's something you can see in your dashboard, right, in your breakdown. So don't worry about like mixing all the data. And if ever you're a service-based business and in your ad account, you're optimizing for leads, but now at this point you're uploading deals, well, maybe you actually just want to name it purchase, and you can assign it a value, and then you're going to be able to see how many of these close and what's the deal value inside your ad account. So this is how the offline data event set works. Now what I want to show you exactly how to automate that, because I think it's really important. So as my database, I'm actually going to be using a Google Sheet. As you can see here, I have just a dummy lead here, and I only have the first name, last name, email, phone number, and then the value. You can add a lot more, like you can send the country, the zip, the state, the city, and Facebook actually gives you a long list of information that you can send with your events. I'm going to leave that link in the description of this video, but also once we go through the Zapier automation, they're going to tell you all the different options. So you can just look at that as well to figure out what you can potentially send. But I would recommend that you send as much as you can so that it increases the chance for Facebook to match that event with an actual Facebook profile. So let's say I was only sending the first name, last name, and email. My chances that Facebook will be able to match that event or that user with an actual Facebook profile are lower than if I were to send all their information, because then Facebook can just look across all their data set and see if it potentially matches, again, a Facebook profile. So just keep that in mind, the more the better. So now I'm going to go inside Zapier, and it's a brand new Zap. So I'm going to add and create my trigger. So again, this is going to be a Google Sheet for me, but if you're using HubSpot or Salesforce or potentially Shopify, you're going to want to use basically, I want to call it your database. But with that being said, I know that's probably going to be one of the biggest challenge for companies, because you might be using a tool that doesn't really integrate with Zapier. So that's why you might need to be creative and figure out a way to basically integrate your tool with something that integrates with Zapier, like a Google Sheet. Just keep that in mind. So I'm going to select my Google Sheet here, and I'm going to do when new or updated spreadsheet row. Continue. Perfect. So I just selected my Google Sheet. Now I can hit continue. It's going to look for some data. And as you saw, I only have one row, so I should be able to pull that up. Perfect. It's there. Now I can continue. And now we're looking for Facebook offline conversion. So we want to do Facebook offline conversion and not the Facebook conversion API, because those are two different things. And in this scenario, it's an offline, right? So no, we're not collecting the Facebook cookie or the Facebook click. So the Facebook offline conversion is what you want to send, basically. So send offline conversion, that's going to be the event. I'm going to hit continue. Now you need to connect an account. So I'm just going to connect a new account here. So starting from scratch, you might not be able to see that, but there was a pop-up. It just asked to confirm my identity, and I'm hitting continue now. And now we need to select my business account. So I'm going to select my demo. So demo account, then the event set. So it's actually this one that I just created, demo. Now they're going to ask for the event time, the email, the phone, first name, last name, city. That's the state. and then we have the country, zip code. You can even send gender information, date of birth, the event name. Content type, I usually don't send it, but then the value, I think it's important. And then if you're sending the value, then you also want to send the currency. The rest of the information here is more optional, as if you have it, great. If not, then it's not a big deal. And then custom data, well, you don't really need to worry too much about that. So let me just start at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and add an event time. Unfortunately, I didn't actually add a timestamp on my Google Sheet, so I'm actually gonna leave this blank. And if I leave it blank, it's actually gonna use the time of the Zap. Usually, let's say you're using CRM or potentially Shopify and your point of sales inside Shopify, like when that contact gets created, you can just use that as your timestamp, and that would be totally fine. So again, I'm gonna leave it blank, and it's just gonna use the time of the Zap. Now the email, well, I have my email column right here, so I'm gonna select that, and same thing with the phone number. And I'm just gonna go through real quick and just fill up the information. Like I mentioned, on my Google Sheet, I don't have the city, zip, country, and all that information, but if you have it, definitely add it, because I've already explained the more you send, the better it is. So now I'm gonna scroll all the way to the bottom where it says event name. So this really depends on you. You can send a standard event name. You can also send like a custom event name. So there are things called standard event, and then there's things called custom events. And a custom event is basically you can call the event whatever you want. So instead of calling it purchase, I could potentially call it order. There's not really a big use case of doing something like that. It's more, let's say you have two different kind of leads. One of them is someone submitting a form on your website, and then another lead is, let's say, someone that clicks a number on your website to give a call to your company and one of the rep answers. Then maybe you want to give that event a different name, which that's understandable. But in this scenario, let's say you have a physical store, I would recommend that you use the purchase event because they're coming to your store and making a purchase. So I'm gonna select the purchase event here. Now the value, like I said, I like to send a value because I can look at the return on ad spend inside my ad account. I can also just look at the overall value that my campaign is generating. So the value, I actually did add it here. So I have the value right here. Your currency, if you're sending the value, you need to send in currency. So I usually just leave it as a static value. Of course, if your store accepts multiple currency, then you might want to create a variable here. But since it's a demo, I'm just going to leave it to USD. Now the lead ID, I usually don't add that information because it's really rare that the company collects or creates a lead ID. Order ID, if I'm setting this up for an e-com store, usually there's like a transaction ID that I get. So I can just add that in. There's a use case of adding that in, and that's because let's say there's a problem in your Zap and by mistake you send the event twice. Well, Facebook's going to look at the order ID, and if the order ID already exists, well, they're just gonna forget that event and they're not gonna attribute it inside your campaign. So it's a great way to make sure that you're not over reporting on your data. So if you have it, definitely add it. Now I'm gonna keep going down here. That's more just some like privacy settings. So I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna hit continue. Now you can click on test action, and it's just gonna do a test. It's gonna send like a demo event to Facebook, and I'm just gonna do it right now and you're gonna see what it looks like. Perfect. So it says an event was sent to Facebook offline conversion about 3 seconds ago. And what we can do now is we can actually publish a Zap. So publish and turn on. So guys, once your Zap is turned on, I would recommend that maybe you come here for the first few days and just check inside your offline data set to see if you're receiving data. If you've been using your Pixel, you're gonna see it's honestly really similar. So you're gonna see your events appearing here. There's gonna be a graph that also appears here on the screen, and just check and see if you're getting events. If you're not getting anything, then there's probably an issue with your Zap. And I know I'm talking a lot about Zapier, and that's just because I've been using Zapier for years now, but there's honestly a lot of other companies that do exactly what Zapier does, and potentially they're a little bit cheaper. So if Zapier is not a good option for you, or if you're using something else, just Google it and see if that company that you're using also integrates with Facebook and they have the Facebook offline conversion event. But a lot of them do, and like I said, Zapier is one software. There's a lot of other alternatives. But the video is actually not over. I want to show you one more thing. So I'm going back inside my demo business manager, and I'm just going to go to my ad account, and I'm going to open up ads manager. So I actually have already a campaign here that I probably made for another demo. So I'm just gonna open it real quick. I wanna go to the ad level. So if I'm scrolling down to the ad level, this is where you're gonna see it. So all the way down, we're looking at tracking right here. So here, offline events for your ads should be selected, and you should actually see your new offline event here, and it should be green and it should set to auto. And at this point, you don't need to touch anything, but just go inside your ad account, and when you're publishing, let's say, a new ad, just go and check and see if this is enabled, and if you see your offline data set that you just created. And if it's there, then you know that if you're getting purchases in your physical local, like in your local store, and they're being uploaded to the offline data set, and that user gets matched to your campaign, then you're going to be able to see it inside Ads Manager. So I'm going to show you. So if I go to customize my column right here, if I just type purchase and I hit total, so by just adding the purchase metric to my view, I can see website purchases, and I can also see the offline purchases right inside my metrics inside Ads Manager. So that's where you're gonna be able to see how many offline purchases you're getting for your campaigns, for your ad set, and for your ads. So the concept will still apply if you're sending offline leads. You just go and add the lead metric to your view, and then you're gonna be able to see how many leads were generated on your website versus offline, and that's how you analyze it. But guys, that is it for this video. This is actually how you send offline conversion to Facebook, and I think it's really, really important if you have a physical store, or again, if you're a service-based business, and when they submit the form, a sales rep calls them, and then they, let's say, close them on the phone, then you want to send that data back to Facebook, because maybe you could potentially try optimizing for the purchases or the deals that are coming, and not just the leads. Because if Facebook can understand who are the customers that are actually paying for your products or your services, well, you can maybe optimize for that in the future, and it's going to give you way better results. But guys, that is it for this video. Bye for now.